Okay, and welcome back. We're picking where we left off last time in Field of Glory Empires in our Sparta run in the Persia DLC. Where, as you can imagine, in the Persia DLC, Persia's pretty strong. We're fighting Persia. I call it the Persia DLC, I believe it's simply the Rise of Persia DLC. But we're going to continue fighting Persia here. I think armies already have assigned movements. If I go around the territories, I think the territories probably already have assignments already as well. So I think it's just a simple act of ending the turn. Yeah. But this one probably should go after food. Let the guys try to feed themselves as much as they can. Get that going a little more production-wise. A couple independent provinces there. And that looks like it's fine. Let's go ahead and cycle the turn and see how things proceed. We're expecting a fight with the Persian army in this upcoming end turn. We're fighting, or expecting a fight, probably with the rebels. Okay, defending garrison versus 66 Persians, because the Persians did a big move. They moved much farther than I expected them to. They're probably going to win this battle. Yeah. That's, our provincial garrisons, unless they got walls, are probably not holding up against that massive Persian army. This is attacking, well, we were supposed to be attacking rebels, but the Persians moved here instead. And I think they fought the rebels, and now, because it's technically our province, we're on the defense against them. Skirmish phase, we get a pretty decent amount of exhaustion there. 9v2. We got a min roll of 7 on all these dice. They have a min roll of 1 due to the exhaustion, so this should pretty easily go in our favor. Yeah. And with that, a bunch more Persians are dead. However, that is not enough to stop the Persian menace. They still have 2 fairly large field armies out there that we need to continue to hunt. They took some of our territory, so we're going to have to keep attacking them to take that back. We're up at 10 in the culture decadence ratio tree, whereas Persia last I saw was down here. Moved up or moved down? There they are, 48. Just out of the declining portion. We'd like to push them back into the declining portion if we can. You, what do you want? You give up the objective on our friend? Or is that on me? Either way, you relinquish objective. Give me metal, give me money. In exchange, I give you some troops. Sure. These are usurpers. They want me to give them money to give them metal. I don't want to do that. I'd actually prefer doing something the other way around. Where I get money from them. I don't think they want to give me money, but then they basically have no money. Yeah, we're just gonna cancel. Yeah. Go to the transaction. We're gonna say no. And that was the deal we just looked at. Emergency levy. No, I don't think we need to raise the emergency levy. The Persians may need to raise the emergency levy, but I think we're good. Okay, so 2 Persian armies. We'll move our armies to deal with those Persian armies. Our income's up a little bit. Something obviously changed over the intern. Let's see. Going back to our provinces, we do have something to build, or a place to build in Atticus. Atticus is large enough that we probably want to try getting up into better culture buildings. There's maybe an argument we should hold off on building things that aren't necessarily going to help us deal with the unrest, because it is pretty high at this point. From a single building slot, Gladiator School would work, Noble District would work. I think the rest are going to be like 6s, which isn't quite enough to stabilize the place. So we're going to do a reroll here, hoping to find one of those two. Over here, we probably want to avoid getting into the same state where we're forced to reroll to get to what we want. Though it is very tempting to take Position House here. I'm going to pass because I'm actually worried about getting unrest brewing pretty heavily in the home territories. Okay, so we can free up about 100 construction, I think. 100 infrastructure. I'm in like another 13 here to make money. There we go. A little bit more money. Everything's still finishing one turn. You're working. Maybe don't need everyone in infrastructure to complete the tribunal. Oh, no, we basically need everything on infrastructure to complete the tribunal. Tools and a new slot. There's maybe an argument that we don't want to do the crafting district here, but we're going to do the crafting district here. The argument would be that we'd be able to fish for things like the tool manufacturer easier without the crafting district. We can definitely use the construction to get that done quicker. We're building an irrigation canal, 2 turns out. Nothing being built here. We'll put 1 person in culture, that should stabilize the province, yeah. And we'll grab the Oration Tribune because that'll provide us a little bit more stability. It's always nice to grab the regional roads when it's provided. And we want a little bit more food here if we can get it. Looks like we can't. I think I'll still put everyone on food. It won't be as effective, but minimize the likelihood we get a bad event related to starving. Okay, and then on to figuring out if we got any looses. It looks like, yeah, no idle regions, so everything's working. We're gonna need some amount of income. We do have a decision we want to do, assuming we can afford it before it disappears, which is the support science and culture. If we can get, well, we could just press the button now, but then that would put me in debt, which would have all sorts of problems on the military front, which we want to avoid. If we can basically get up to 4,200, we want to press this button for the +5 commerce. Which will help keep us in the positive and potentially allow us to afford more armies. Okay, we've given a move order. What do the Persian armies do? Okay, we managed to engage one of them before they moved away. And apparently, even though we are attacking them, we're on the defense. Archer's fire. Did a decent number of exhausts. No exhausts on our side. 8v7. Though we've got that min roll 7. So we should be getting much better dice rolls than them. And we do. And 8v4, yep. That was probably the best unit in the entire enemy line, and it looks like it was. Oh! A revolting nation. That's annoying because that just means our unit bumped. Didn't go where we wanted it to. Okay. Buy, sell, or display slaves. We'll do some distribution. You've got like one place to go. You obviously aren't going there because we can't go there. The question here is, do I go for the fort or do I go after the Persian army? I think I'm going to try to storm the fort. So Lycia is the original owner of this river. Though, they already lost it to the Persians, so they're not getting it back at this point. Okay, here we've got enough stability, so we can pretty build freely here. Attempting to build a street parlor, that's a pretty decent culture building. Shipyard would help us with making the boats cheaper. So that allows us to turn around and just generate naval ships faster and cheaper. Copper mine provides infrastructure metal, which is tempting from the infrastructure standpoint because it's also providing metal. So I think it's a toss-up between copper mine and street parlor. I have access to level 3 culture buildings already, so I think we'll go the copper mine because it's going to give us access to level 2 infrastructure buildings. So Atticus is one of the places we're re-rolling to find a better culture building. We did not find that better culture building. We did get presented with 2 very valuable 0 slots. We got presented with Clearwater, and we got presented with Paved Road. Paved Road in particular is very valuable because it expands our trade range on this territory by 1 and raises the commerce bonus by 8. That's where the 12 money on this building is coming from. So we'll go ahead and take that. And of course, that is only basically a reroll after that. I'm going to hold off on... I'm a little bit tempted to put guys back on infrastructure to get the buildings done quicker, but we'll hold off a turn. Because we want to be able to do that commerce multiplier to get more money. I selected the wrong one, didn't I? I did. There we go. So you could probably do with more loyalty and revolt risk. Thassalon Temple isn't going to help with that. It's also, I believe, functionally a 0 slot because it's an upgraded cult site. So there's no reason not to do that, per se. Because what I want isn't here in the list anyway. Though, Physician House is tempting. We might do the Physician House if we aren't presented with the option next time. We'll go Thassalon Temple. Which will finish in a turn. In fact, we've got too much construction for it. We'd like to put another 50 back on money making. That much money making. Tools and an open slot. There we go, hospital. Again, we're still fishing for as many as we can, at least, this building. This building requires that you're type of hospital. Once you've got this built, you don't have to keep the hospital. You can turn around and disassemble the hospital, but you need the hospital to build this. So the physician, or the hospital is a 0 slot upgrade to the physician house, and if we get lucky, then we'll pull the other one we're looking for. Still working the irrigation canal. Turn. Nothing being built here. Okay. So with that done, you should be stable with the guy on culture. We do want money, again, for various event reasons. And we can put 2 of these guys on food. Well, good. Next province. That looks fine enough. Actually, we're at the point where I don't need to make food here anymore. Okay, so how much protection do you need? Probably not enough to do more than a 2 turn on the prison, so we'll come back to that. Nothing to build here. We got everyone food, which has just barely got the food positive. Okay. No idle owners. No bolster colonies available. Don't think the Greeks here are not going to be barbarians, so I think we're good to go. let's go ahead and cycle the turn, and assuming the decision is still there next turn, the support science and culture is still here next turn, you should be able to activate this next turn. In fact, we could probably activate it now and we'd be positive, but I'm gonna give it one spare turn. Oh, we do have a lot of metal. Okay, let's sell the metal. That'll help offset the develop new culture commerce techniques. We'll see where our money is. We might do some develop infrastructure after that. $28 units versus a garrison of 8. Oh, this is probably the group I should not have sent to storm it, because these are the phalanxes. You can see the -3 unmaneuverable penalty here. The support's making up for it on the middle here, but we've got a couple of the archers, but... Okay, we won the battle. Probably closer than it should have been, because I'm in the wrong group as well, but it'll be fine. And it looks like the Persians are generally in retreat. And we are now a glorious empire. We'll have to go one more turn to see what that's going to really do on our culture decadence ratio. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's not necessarily a good thing either. Money efficiency without any corruption. And now known as the Glorious Empire. We'll see how long we can stay corruption free. Okay. You go there. You assault the garrison. So the other group that's actually meant to do assaults. We did manage to stay in the positive money. Decision-wise, we can do develop infrastructure, which we'll do. Okay. I can also go ahead and turn down the money a little bit. Probably want to be making about 500 money right now. So turn it down just a little bit. Focus a little bit more on the construction of that paved road. Okay, we're stable. Oh no, we're still stable now, I guess. Okay, so I think the rearrangement here did something that lowered the unrest. Probably moved a slave out of the territory, I would guess. Or we had some sort of unrest effect that went away. Because the place is now stable. We still probably want another loyalty generating building, but for the moment it's close enough. We don't have the source of perfumes, otherwise we might do this as a 0 slot. Garum shop imports olive oil. We have olive oil, we have fish, we have salt. That makes sense to potentially do this here. Also, in theory, it makes sense to potentially just do the reroll. Because health building wise, we're kind of just looking for the physician house, I suppose. We do physician house, hospital, and then we can build the next one. Yep. Yeah, we'll do a reroll. We'll try to finish off that physician house train for the special building, or find the stoa. I'm not sure if we have. No, we have the coal building, so we could be fishing for the last. Oh no, we can't be fishing for the other one because we don't have the amphitheater tier building. Okay. Work on that hospital. Hospital's going to be the thing that's probably going to take the most amount of time. out of these guys. You finished the canal, I think? Can that work? Irrigation canals. Okay, so now we're looking to get it up to... Oh, no, it was integrated. So now we have a papyrus over here. Nice. Build a granary would be a decent granary. With the 25 food granary. Sure. Okay, that's fine. Open building slot here. You probably want more stability, so Noble District is applicable for that. There we go. And then nothing to do there. Then there's no idols. Okay. Okay, and you don't need quite so much on construction, given the fact you're not building anything. There we go. That one arguably is stable, so we'll go try to make some more food there. Growing. There we go. Okay. And see how that goes, we'll see how that goes. And otherwise we'll just sort of keep chasing the Persians until we basically own Asia Minor, and then we might be starting to contemplate trying to dash into the Fertile Crescent region for Babylon and Seleucia. Seleucia. Okay, go down there anyway. So let's go ahead and cycle the turn. So the assault should probably be pretty early in the turn. Here's the assault. We're just gonna skip over because we know that's gonna work. This is a field battle. This is actually where the phalanx performs best. 10v2, even before the rolls, I think we're winning. Complete destruction of the enemy forces. Okay. And they're attacking us, which is bad for them because we got +2 to defense. Or +2 dice rolls in the defense. Yeah, we got the trained bonus. It's a 9v7, so it's the main close fighters here are actually pretty good fighters. The rest of the line is not apparently holding up to that, but... To be fair, I think close fighters are not in their normal roster, so that's probably the emergency levy, providing them with units. And we go ahead and got rid of all 3 of the close fighters, so at least we don't have to deal with those guys anymore. A revolt, which isn't super ideal. But we should be able to put it down pretty quickly. Okay, so after accounting for swapping to Glorious, we only dropped 20. It's So that's our age, is the jump for the drop from 30 to 20 kicking in. And then did Persia go up or did Persia go down? I feel like Persia probably went up. Yeah, Persia went up a little bit. They're at 15 or 44. Last turn, apparently they were in the declining tier. They only stayed there for one turn. You give me metal and manpower, I give you money. You know, right now I think that's a fair trade, because I think we get more changing these into money than we do getting money into other things. Nicomedes is now going to Sparta. Poor administrator, so there's our tax going down. That's why we're down at plus 300 instead of plus 500. Poor military. So we're going to have a military expertise penalty, and it's going to be hard to level our guys up. Good diplomat, though. So a little bit easier to actually get what we want, potentially, when we get to negotiate with the Persians, if that happens. Buy ourselves displace. We displace. Usually bounce on that event. We can spend money to get things, which we're not. Okay, so I'm going to order you to there and then to there. Sadly, you can't do it all in one turn. Okay, so that's probably why they went back into the stable tier, is the revolts ended. So this is the one with the phalanxes. I'm going to order the phalanx one to chase the Spartan army. I want you to engage the Spartan army, please. No, I can just go to the province. There we go. Is that 2 batches of rebels in the same place? Yeah, that's 2 batches of rebels in the same place. That explains why they're so big. So with the old leader out, the new leader in, we have more generals to pick from. Where's the rest of my fleet? Pretty sure I had more than one boat. Apparently I don't have more than one boat. Okay. Don't know what happened to the rest of my fleet, but we lost our fleet. Let's send you to a proper port. We'll go ahead and recruit more boats. That would explain where our money went, is the fleet went poof. Okay. Oh, I had it in port. And the port got taken. That makes some sense. Okay. That's why we're making so much money. The fleet wasn't cheap to maintain, and it is gone. Okay. Don't need quite that much on production. Go ahead and move about 100 off onto money making. That'll be good. And then, yeah, we should rebuild the fleet. What's the frontage on sea? 16? Yeah, about 16. A few places where it's smaller than that. We'll go ahead and grab 6 heavy warships. Like another 6 normal warships and like 4 light ones for the flanking job. There we go. And then we'll add the existing 1 lone light ship to it. Should be 1 more than we need. We've got a 1-1. Good for open terrain. 0-1-0-1-0-2. 1-1 coastal water, which will probably be our admiral. What general do we have here? Okay, so swapping over to the 1-1 I think will be a little bit better. Okay, let's go around all our provinces. Continue with gauging the enemy. There we go. I'm very tempted, and I think we will go ahead with the 40 loyalty bonus building here. Provide us with 15 culture from honey, and then if we can import the luxury and wine, we'll get even more. A little bit of decadence, but when you carry that 15 culture, that's probably good enough. Build a sewer here. Give us a little slot. You can build a commercial port here. Nice. Open slot in that farm territory we're working in before. I will go ahead and grab the physician house. Once the physician house is done, we'll be able to build the hospital and so on and so forth from that chain. Hermes. You have a wall, build up the wall. And then go and relieve that siege. And I don't think we got any Euroloose territory. It's everyone food, as much as that doesn't really work. Go ahead and grab the salt house, and we'll put most of the people here on food for the moment, in the hopes that we try to grow some food, which apparently isn't the case. Oh, and you are part of a larger province that we now control enough of. 11, 17, 18. I think I'll put the provincial capital down here. Okay, we engage the rebels. I'm going to skip the fight with the rebels just because it's going to be an easy fight. We engage the Persians here. We're attacking, they're defending. Basically doesn't matter who's doing what, but if they're technically defending, they get the terrain defense +2. Oh, I'm probably attacking in bad terrain for our troops. Yeah, this is mountains. Okay, shouldn't have attacked into the mountains, but we did. And we've retreated the Persian army enough that apparently it's not an issue. Number 6 for 6. Yep, the reliableness of that minimum roll there gives us victory in inappropriate terrain for our army. Up a tier, gain a progress token. Persia also moved up 3 tiers. Okay. Spend metal to acquire money or manpower. Don't quite have enough metal for that to be a good idea. I'm going to move down here into the plains. We'll see if they hang around. I'm going to go ahead and order a assault on that fortress. Oh, and you were killed in the assault. Okay, so we're going to replace you with someone. I suppose we're attacking, so we'll give an attacker to your over command. And the 02 is replaced with the 01. We got a build harbor decision, which is actually pretty good. I'm on board with build harbor whenever it shows up. Let's expand the harbor on the island in the middle here. Lots of build slots. School. Decent building. Not the building we want, but the building we'll take. The courthouse. It's also a 0 slot upgrade. And not really the building slot we wanted, but we'll take it. We'll take the scriptorum here. Get a little bit more culture. Work towards having better culture buildings. Trade center. 30% commerce bonus, plus 5 trade acumen. This building alone is supposed to give us 92 money. Probably due to the commerce bonus. It might actually be underestimating the value here of the trade acumen, which might bring more trade to specifically function this province. A new building slot from a new citizen being born. Go ahead and take the 40 loyalty bonus, put you back up to 100 loyalty. That looks fine. We can put one more guy in construction to get stuff building a little bit faster. Ooh, more building slots here. Could probably use some more loyalty out here. We're at population 15, so it's not worth trying to gamble to find our Greek cult site. We'll just take the generic one. Training ground for XP. We probably do want to do training ground eventually. I think I'm going to go to the stadium here. It's going to provide us more health, more manpower at the cost of some money, which we have plenty of. Mainly interested in the manpower there. Nothing to build there. Decent amount actually to build here. Yes, improve the walls. If we're gonna have walls, we want good walls. We'll go ahead and take the tavern here. Decent money income, decent loyalty, gonna help stabilize it just a little bit. Okay, we're food positive here. We have an army in the region that needs to eat, so we're just gonna accept that we are food positive. That's fine. Way too food positive here. And we do have an army nearby that probably wants like 30-something food. But we can definitely move some food back. Something like that. There we go. Yeah, it's actually progressing its construction. And no loose ones. Okay. Okay, let's progress the turn again. And progress the war against the Persians. I think the Persians are definitely looks like in many ways they're running low on army. Open field battle. This is a battle that our army arguably is reasonably equipped to handle. But we did suffer more exhaustion than we normally would. 11 v 6, min roll 6, min roll 2, so it should be a fight we win. Didn't roll as well as I would have hoped. 6 v 5, because we're suffering some exhaustion here. That is sneaking into the min roll here. We still do win, although it is against a skirmisher, so it doesn't result in a unit destruction. I guess one's one we should win. Interestingly, not getting as much damage as I'd like. Allied Paradoki. We did actually win that one. 9 v 5. Okay. I think this is a battle we're winning as long as we don't take too many casualties. Yeah. Okay. And they went and hid in the fortress. Okay. Ranged phase. 9v9. Relying a little bit on the mineral there. We do win it from the mineral. And that's a victory. And they're in a fort, so if the fort surrenders, everyone in the fort is killed. So that was a massive victory. That was a massive victory. We got a new ruler already. Numerous warriors and non-populace are preparing to revolt in Umbria against Rome. Okay. Buy, sell, or displace. We're continuing to go with displacing. Superior military. So that's actually a good swap. Bad administrator. So administrative burden's worse. Decadence is worse. That's why our money went down. Superior diplomat. Okay, so this is probably about as good as we're going to get from the military and diplomacy side. Sudden but natural. Okay. 0-1. Got a 2 for attack. Got a 2-1 for attack. Cool. So with the destruction of the Persian army, or actually no, the Persian. I think the Persian army escaped. Okay, just didn't show up in the fort. Okay, they've got them under siege there. Let's see if we can do some diplomacy with the Persians. So, starting off, if we control it, we'd like not to give it back to the Persians. Looks like the Persians are roughly on board with that. If we hold it, we hold it. The Persians are like, yep, and we agree to at least those terms. We're going to want a little bit more than that, because I am a warmonger like that. Okay, so we control you. Might actually just want to leave them that province. Take the last one in that province. And then it's sneaking in to sort of the Fertile Crescent, right? So maybe we will move into that province for the next set of claims. We'll take you, you, you. And we'll do. So I don't need the whole province. We do the. Let's see how close we're on. Okay, no, we're not at a place where we can do the negotiation yet. At least not the way I want it. Oops, that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted that one. And that one. But yeah, so they're not on board with that, and then what? It's a couple more. So I was gonna just grab all the ones I'm thinking of. So we can get an idea of what the war score needs to be for just to give it to us. So we need about 202 more war score than we currently have. Yeah, 202 more than we have. And we currently have 346. We've got to go about as far as we've done since the beginning of the stream, twice over. So the war doth continue, be where we are. I probably do want to give you more archers. We do kind of want you to recover at some point. Let's give you 2 more of these archers and 2 of these archers. Okay. So we'll get those built. We'll carry out this siege. I'm contemplating trying to save up for a 3rd army. Okay, so that dealt with the food issue there. I suppose we could put the Summer Palace right next to the normal palace. It's not like Civ 5 where you want to spread your capital region out over the world. Local 10 loyalty bonus, 15% culture. It's worth 86 culture from all the bonuses, and we'd get even more if we had gold. It is going to be pretty expensive, 53 gold, because we do not have luxury to provide it. But this is one place where we probably would actually build luxury, which would then make that go away. Okay. You're proceeding. We're making enough money that I'm not gonna tear people off of production to make money, but we're also not making enough money that I want to do the opposite. So I'll keep working on construction and such everywhere. Lots of open slots here. Okay. A little bit tempting to go Oration Tribune for the loyalty bonus. Health-wise, there is the 0 slot hospital building we could be fishing for. And I suppose technically we're also looking for the Odon and the Propopelia. Propopelia? I don't speak Greek. The cult temple, the temple expansion building. So we do want more culture because we're in the stable region instead of the progressing region. Don't need loyalty enough that we're gonna risk a decadence building. Not enough in taxation bonus either. I think here we're actually gonna do reroll. Don't like any of these choices. Oops. Wrong one. And we're putting as much as we can on construction because the stadium is pretty expensive. That's fine. Open building slot here. You probably want something that would stabilize you. We haven't pulled something that would stabilize you. That's tempting because we have access to weapons, so it'd be providing 2 manpower. I think we're good enough on manpower for the moment. We actually need income more than we need manpower. Take the crafting district because it's 0 slot for the reroll. A location where we can do a sawmill, which is woodcutter's bigger, better brother. I mean, you probably want some loyalty generation. Not that desperate for glass. Probably do the wall here because of no loyalty generation building. Yeah. And then we go look at the looses. No loose. No loose idols. And we're going to continue our siege. I don't want to go up chasing into the mountains after them, is where we are right now. So we're gonna carry out the siege and hope our guys can regenerate in the meantime. Suppose, do I have a, I do have a forage land. Drop a forage land on them. Okay. They attack us. This is 5v them, so we're just going to skip. And, okay, they sallied is what they did. Okay. And we're storming the fort here. This should be an easy storm. Yeah. And we had rebels that defected to the... rebels defected, and then the Persians overran them. We'll have to retake that territory. Okay, back in the progressing tier. It's kind of where we want to be. Phosphorus. What do you want? You give me metal, I give you money. Okay. Develop infrastructure. Got the money to do that. And then up here, indecisions. We have not so precious iron, so I can turn all that iron I'm getting into money, a better 1-to-1 ratio, which is why we're willing to accept their metal deal. Did not manage to have his army forage for food. Okay, you go there. We're gonna have you move there. We're gonna have the archers meet up. We have the fleets meet up. We'll send them out over here. I was going to send them over, but I realized I'd been ignoring them and hadn't been putting them together to send them out over to do the blockading, which is a little of an oops. And, oh, we can import frankincense. This place is now in trade range of Nabatea, which has frankincense, which makes this a good building. 21 culture, 6 loyalty. I will take that. I think we're going to do a reroll here. We do want to get this place stable again, which means we need Gladiator School, Noble District. We could make do with the Basilica. Theory, that would be in range. If there are any of the loyalty generating buildings, the Tavern would work. It wouldn't be a good choice, but it would work. Two open slots. Vineyard would give us 10 culture, because nearby bonuses get, or nearby buildings get their bonus. I'm going to hold off doing it because we can move it around by taverns. Noble District, whereas Marble. Particularly bad Noble District. But it provides loyalty. We don't really need the loyalty right now, so we'll pass. Could go to the market here. We're also looking for the Vision House, yeah. Or we would let us fish for more marble. I don't think we necessarily need to fish for more marble. Well, yeah, we'll go to the market. Stop having a hard about it when doing the market. Then we can put that guy, the food guy, on infrastructure. Not really going to make a difference as far as the racing track. The racing track's expensive enough, but he didn't actually get assigned where I wanted him to, did he? No. Three open slots. Sewers. Which is supposed to make it up to 4 open slots, but we'll work with that. Let's go ahead and grab the Preceptor House. We're not in need of loyalty right now, and it will reduce some decadence here and give us access to J3 culture buildings. Oh, and because I'm not in need of loyalty, we got plenty of health here. I think we can go ahead and disassemble you. Yeah, looks like we'll still be 60, still be health capped with that gone. We've already got the Greek special hospital expansion here. Hellenic temple, medical temple, right? So we don't need the hospital here anymore to give us access to that because we have it. Go ahead and take land expansion. That'll import wood. So if anything needs wood, that'll be good. Nothing there. New building over in Hermes. Probably does want to be a loyalty building. Alone, that wouldn't be enough, but we're not getting anything better than a 6 until we get access to tier 2. So we might as well take the 6. That'll get us as close as we can be. There is an argument, and I'm going to go with it, which is we should not have a slave market here. Let's assemble the slave market. That'll give us a slot back. I was going to piss everyone off in the meantime, but, well, they already don't like me, so that's fine. Same here. Get rid of that slave market. We want like 10, but we probably want them mostly in like proper core territory, where we want the slaves and not out in the extremities. I'm not sure if Force March would be giving enough movement to this guy to get him to where he wants to, because we're moving through the mountains here, which are pretty expensive. Cost 6. 3 versus plains, which costs 2. That would be like 9 to move there. And our moves would suit 3. Okay, it's definitely going to take 2 turns. Unsurprisingly. Unsurprisingly, my predictions, though, I don't think we can get going fast enough is true. Let's hit you with the prospecting, see if we can find any interesting metals. And let's cycle the turn. Okay, storm the fort. And we see the Persian army just booking into my rear, as they can. I think it's mostly cavalry, so it's got a lot of movement speed. More displacement. We don't need to see ships. We have our fleet. Go ahead and put him on a 0-2. Send him out to go blockade the port. Okay, so you can get out to there. Not quite where I want you to be. Be able to merge you like so. You and you, like so. Fort's under siege. Let's give the fort a garrison commander, hopefully to forestall the fall. Oh, Spendthrift. And then we'll play Art of the Siege to delay the siege some more. And then we'll go through our provinces again. Summer Palace obviously can take a while to build. You still want more happiness or more loyalty. Pleasure House, not the best source of loyalty. You only have access to tier 2. So the best you can get is 16. This would be at least 8. So this would be half as good as what it could be. And we'd probably be needing it again as soon as the next person goes. So we're still going to go training ground here. Could use that to import the wine. Non-particularly rate money bonus, non-particularly rate loyalty bonus. I'm thinking I'm going to pass. Figs. Oh, you didn't put their figs. Doesn't have any of the bonuses, so pretty bad. Warehouse, we could do BT's infrastructure. We're not actually in desperate infrastructure. I think we'll go sanitation here. Racing track should finish this turn. See something new next turn. Could do the shipyard here. This is not usually where we're building ships. So I think I'm going to pass on the shipyard here. That's not the health building we want, which is a physician house. It's not the woodcutting, or not the infrastructure building we want. Not too interested in Coastal Fortress. Could do that. Not too worried about it. So I think we're just going to do the reroll here. Okay, so that's actually delayed the racing track by 1 turn. That's fine. Because it's dividing it between the 2 spots. Probably. Yeah. Could do the orchard for food. Yeah, could do the orchard for food. It's not that bad, but it's not that good either. Don't need the commerce building. 7% or 7 money is not enough from the percentile there. Not worth you. I think you're actually going to do a reroll here. Oh, we did get another worker here, so we're going to build some stuff. Grab the stables. You're under siege. So, well, we want to build stuff here, but we're going to take everyone off a building to maintain functionality of the defensives here during the siege. So we want the place to be food stable. And apparently it is. Okay, we'll just put more guys on food and just call it good. Yeah. Oh, the farm's going to finish too. That works. Which means, well, right now it's actually not getting any from exterior. So we probably want to put these guys on money. So we can afford, well, see how easy it would be to afford building another army to continue to harass the Persian army. Okay, stabilizes that one. Who's unstable? Hermos. Can we stabilize Hermos? We can. Okay, so other than the fact we got one under siege, we have able to deal with the unrest risk there. I only need like 30 food here, so we move another 10 over to production. Similar here, we can move a lot of our production, get stuff done quicker. That's all the way around. What about the loose ones? You're loose, you can do something. Do a wall upgrade. But of course, try to feed everyone first. That's the only loose one. And looking at the time, this is probably where I should go ahead and put a part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, we're going to pick up from where we left off in the next one tomorrow for you. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to mute the mic shortly, take a short break to sip a little bit of my tea, and then I'm going to get right back to playing. Hopefully continue to drive the Persians out of Asia Minor. If everything goes well, I think we will have actually driven them all the way out of Asia Minor, and then it will just be working our way down to these two territories. Mainly because these two territories alone are worth like 1/5 of Persian legacy. The entire reason we are at war with Persia is because we don't want them winning the game via legacy. So if we take like 1/5 of their legacy off of them, and a nice like protrusion down to that territory and Asia Minor, I think we're in a position where we can stop them from winning the game. Just by doing that. We might not need to go to war with Persia again. We'll probably keep going to war with Persia every so many turns, but for at least initially, that's what we'll do for the first wars. That's what we want. We need to go and raise the war score by another like 200 from where we were. I think we may have already raised it by like 60 or something since then, but still need some more. It was like 500 something we need. So until the next bit, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next bit, and bye for now.